Hey, Natalie. Thank you for coming into the live stream. Everybody is in the live stream already. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Acid face melt. Thank you. I pray you are well. I pray you are well too. Thank you. I appreciate you. Truly my thank you for coming into the live stream. How's everybody doing today? Wait for a couple more people to come in. You guys know already. Anybody listen to hip hop in the live stream already? In the live stream? Because Lavonna Jackson, thank you for coming in. Thank you. I'm doing well, Natalie. I'm doing well. For those of you that listen to hip hop, man, I was just celebrating Nas's I think it's 25-year anniversary for Illmatic. Oh man, Illmatic is one of my favorite albums of all time. Illmatic by Nas. If you guys don't know that album, I think it's the 25-year anniversary. Yes, Acid Face Melt. Um, all music is great. I listen to everything. You know, my favorite genre of music is reggae, of course. But you know, I listen to pretty much everything. Okay, there's a lot of sacred jewels in a lot of this music, guys, especially reggae. Okay, I'm gonna let a few more people get in here. We're gonna talk about. I've been getting a lot of emails about sexual transmutation, so I figure I'll touch on that. Um, And then also, of course, this is Q&A, guys. So you can ask me any kind of question. It doesn't matter what topic it is. You know, we can go off topic, but any kind of question you guys have about spirituality, where I can help you guys out. You know, if you need some advice, if you need some um, guidance, anything is fine, guys. Let's give it another minute or two. Again, thank you all that's already in here. Thank you for your patience. Um, and I appreciate you spending your time with me. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we can get started, guys. Again, so lately, especially this week, I've been getting a lot of emails about sexual transmutation, okay? And you know, how we can use the sexual energy, because as I said in most of my videos, sexual energy is manifestation energy. Okay. So the higher your sexual energy is, the more manifestation abilities you have. Now, just because you have a high sex drive does not mean, you know, you're more capable of manifesting than somebody else's, because most of the time we're not using that energy correctly. Okay. Most of the time, um, we're not understanding how to really focus that energy. Okay. Also, like I said before, the sexual energy is also known as the Kundalini. Okay. That's why it's all the way down at the bottom of your tailbone, where your root and sacral chakra are located at. Okay. That the curled cobra or the curled dragon or whatever they call it, you know, so many different names, that is pure sexual energy. Okay, that's why it's hot when it goes up your spine. Ask anybody who has their kundalini rising. Okay. Ask anybody who's had their Kundalini rise. Okay. All right. Because they're always going to tell you it's hot energy. Okay. So the thing is, how do you transmute sexual energy? That's the big question. How do we do this? All right. First of all, of course, you still need stimulation. All right. But a lot of times we only see sexual energy or sexual activity as in the physical realm. That's where we mess up because, and most women probably know this already. Most women, you probably already know that sexual stimulation is not just the body. Sexual stimulation is in the emotions, the mental realm, and in the spirit. Okay. We have to remember that. So, again, finding stimulation. This is the whole aspect of Venus being the planet of pleasure. Okay, because it's stimulating. Think about what sexual energy is. Basically, is friction between the masculine and feminine energy. Okay, so even a conversation is becoming sexual energy because think about it. When a person is speaking, okay, they're projecting, right? So that means they're projecting masculine. They're playing the masculine role. When somebody is speaking, when you're listening, you're playing the feminine role. Okay, you'll notice that everything in this existence plays off of sexual energy. It plays off of the masculine penetrating the feminine, and then something is created. Okay, Billy Stamper, you're asking where's the cheese? Oh man, that's a whole nother lesson, my brother. I mean, again, it's not this talk is not so much centered around that, but yeah, that's a whole nother lesson, my brother. But anyway, again, like I was stating, existence is masculine energy penetrating feminine energy, and the feminine energy giving birth to a new energy. Okay, that is right on time. I was researching this earlier in the week, how to transmute sexual energy for creativity and manifestation. Uh, I'm trying to figure out how to say your name, Princess 10. I'm sorry again, I have a problem with pronunciation. Anybody that's been following me for a long time knows I have a problem with pronunciation. Weirdo hoodoo nerds. Hello, greetings, greetings. Oh, this is Desire. Okay. Hey, how are you, Desire? How are you? But yeah, because what we have to realize before we this is why I'm telling you guys, before you even figure out how to transmute the sexual energy, we have to find understand what it truly is. Like I said, it's not just physical. Actual the physical sex is the last thing. Okay, sexual energy, the sex starts way up in the spirit first. Like I said, this is why I said women probably know this already. Like they already know. See, men are usually more stuck in the physical, okay? But women more attuned to the not seen, right? So they kind of feel that energy before it even gets to that point. All right. But still it's a creation energy. And this is also what the uh the alchemists were tapping into. Okay. I always tell people, a lot of my clients, I always tell them, I always say the alchemists, that's a cover-up story when they're talking about trying to turn lead into gold and stuff like that. What they meant by lead and gold, they were talking about the human body was considered lead, okay, and the spirit was considered gold. So they were trying to transmute, they were trying to transform the human body to a higher frequency so they can travel um through the universe, literally. Okay, and a lot of this they got from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, which his real name is Tahuti. Okay, but still, those emerald tablets of Thoth are it's some good stuff to read about. What he's gonna be telling you about is him traveling through the universe, but he had his physical body. It was just at a higher frequency. Okay, so how do you get to that higher frequency? You got to transmute sexual energy. The alchemists knew this. So a lot of those alchemist tonics were raising sexual desire, but they were focusing the energy to move up the spine. Okay. I remember reading this one book. I totally, I'm sorry, you guys, but I forgot the book. But the guy, there was this, whatever book I was reading at the time, right? The guy said the alchemist, the real lab for the alchemist was not an actual lab. It was the bedroom. I'm not lying when I tell you that I've seen that. Okay. It's because he's correct. All right. He's definitely correct. See, when a man and woman comes together, right? Of course, you can always play different roles. Remember, this is energy here. It has nothing to do with your actual sex. So you can play if in even a so-called gay relationship, right? There's always one person that plays the masculine role, and there's always another person that plays the feminine role. That's how it works. It has to work that way. Okay. So when these two energies come together, it causes friction, right? Now, what happens when you cause friction? What happens when you put two sticks together, right? And you rub them real fast when they tell you to survive in nature, right? What happens? It creates a fire, right? It creates spirit. That's what you're trying to create. So what happens is, this is why it's important. I tell people all the time, this is why it's important to learn Tantra, to learn Karma Sutra, and not, again, I know for my people that live in America, especially when we hear the word Karma Sutra, we're thinking about the book full of sex positions. All right. Again, that's the polluted, diluted version. What you want is a real Karma Sutra book, because that's the last aspect that they're going to speak upon. Okay, they're going to be speaking upon how to mentally seduce, how to emotionally seduce, for a spiritual purpose, how to spiritually seduce for a bigger purpose. Okay, there's two different kinds of sex. There's animal sex, and then there's God sex. Okay, now nothing, not saying that there's something wrong with animal sex, and but majority of people nowadays, that's what they're attuned to. They're attuned to animal sex, where basically you're just, Deborah Fry, Ashe to you as well, where you're just going in and out, where you're just trying to go for physical pleasure. Okay, remember, physical pleasure is the last stage. There's four stages. There's spiritual at the top. There's mental. There's emotional. Then there's physical. When you touch, when you stimulate all at one time, this is when you transmute your energy. This is when you transmute your frequency. Okay, this is how you raise your frequency and transmute that sexual energy, and so you can create. So what am I trying to tell you? When you connect on that deep level and you touch all four levels, all right, two people together, of course you can do it, you can transmute your sexual energy by yourself as well. But like I always tell people, the human being is like a battery. When you put the battery next to another battery, it gets even more charged. You can only go so far by yourself. That's the lie a lot of the spiritual community are telling you, that you can do everything by yourself. All right. And a lot of you know that doesn't even make sense, because you didn't even come into this existence by yourself. Think about that. How did you get to this physical plane? You got here through your mother and your father. And what did they have to do? Create friction and create the flame. The flame is the spirit. That's you. You're the flame. The spirit is representation of fire. And you come onto this physical plane. So a lot of you know already in your common sense, in the common sense, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. How can I transmute out of this existence by myself if it took two people to get me here? And then think about this, because when you really get deep into it, it's more than just two people. Because who created your father? Two people created your father. Who created your mother? Two people created your mother. That's adding more people to your creation. This is why ancestry line is so important. So, and then we can keep going farther and farther till you get to this whole ancestral tree. And they want to tell you you can get up out of this existence by yourself. No, you can't. All right. And that's the problem. That's why a lot of people keep coming back, because it's easy to think that way. All right. So again, when you're triggering yourself, Okay, like I said, there is a point where yes, you can raise your energy by yourself, and this is through meditation. All right, this is through meditation where, let's say you abstain for sex for a while. Okay, where you do not release any sexual energy. That can be powerful as well, but you don't want to stay there. All right. There is a period of time where you need to abstain from sex, and you need to focus this energy. Okay, when you feel that desire coming, when you're in meditation, because that's where it's really going to start hitting you when you're in meditation or you're doing yoga. That's because you're moving your body, you're moving your energy, so it feels like you need to release the energy, right? Especially men, because men release. Okay, so men feel like they need to release something all the time. So what you could do is, and of course, like I said, this is man or woman. So when you're in meditation, you feel this desire, try to push it up your spinal cord. Okay. Try to push this up your spinal cord. Envision the energy. Remember, your imagination is key here. Your imagination creates, that's how you create. So your imagination is your superpower. Animals don't have an imagination. That's the difference between the animal and the human being. I mean, well, there's other differences, but one big difference is the imagination. You can envision yourself and create your own reality. Okay. Literally, your mind and how you and what you envision yourself literally creates. You can create your own diseases with your mind. When you have a negative mind state and it's happening over and over again, guess what's happening, guys? You're creating disease in your body because your body starts reacting negatively inside. Organs start to shut down. Okay. Um, so again, like I said, in meditation, I always tell people, of course, get yourself in a relaxed state. What you want to do is when you hit that, when you feel that sexual desire, you feel like you need to release, push in, envision it going up your spine, envision the energy covering you. Pretend like the sexual energy is covering your whole entire body, like you're a lit flame. Okay, this is spirit. This is spirit energy. This is spirit science, real spirit science. Okay, this is real spirit science because you're becoming the flame now. You're becoming lit. Like I said, there's only so far you can get by yourself, but that's how you start. Raise your sexual energy, cultivate it. Don't try to cut it off. Don't try to destroy your sexual energy because that in return destroys your manifestation abilities. Because then when you're a lit flame, right? When you're like I said, sitting in meditation and you feel this flame energy, you're gonna feel hot, especially if you abstain from sex for a while, okay? Gonna feel really, really hot. All right. So that's when you want to start envisioning what you want. That is the key, people. All right, that's the key. Um, truth, kindness. You're asking how do we heal from trauma? Depends on the trauma. There's so many different kinds of trauma. You have to get a little bit more specific. So, but literally trauma, any kind of trauma is dealing, unless you let it get that deep, it's in the mind. All right. It's a faction of not letting go, of not pushing forward. All right. Not learning the lesson. You're asking how do you cultivate the sexual energy? I'm explaining that right now, where what you're doing is, again, you want to you want to reach stimulation, right? In meditation. I'm just going to say by yourself right now, okay? But again, of course you need somebody else to go further. You're going to need a partner to go further. But you can get to a certain point with your cultivation of sexual energy. You have to push it up your spine. All right. You can also stimulate yourself to the point where you almost get to orgasm and then do your meditation and push it up your spine, especially if you're a male. Okay. Stimulate yourself. I know this sounds crazy, guys, but this is the stuff that they're not telling you. I'm trying to tell you guys, this is the stuff they're not telling you how you can utilize manifestation abilities. Because I guarantee you've been doing a lot of manifestation techniques, right? And a lot of it's not working, right? That's because they're not telling you one specific thing. You need friction to create. Okay, you need friction to create. Everything else is a lie. Nature will tell you how do you bring something into existence. Masculine and feminine energy has to cause friction that creates a flame. That's it. Okay, but so like I said, what you could do, stimulate yourself to the point where you get to almost orgasm and stop. Okay, and focus your energy. This is how you cultivate your energy and push it up your spine. Envision it, imagine it, use your imagination. This is what I'm saying. Kai, greetings, greetings. Um, I have sexual thoughts like it is surge. Desire, you're saying when I have sexual thoughts, I get a surge of energy I can feel in my root and sacral, a very strong physical feeling. Does that mean there's a block? No. Your root and your sacral chakra are responsible for your sexual energy. That's what I'm saying. Your Kundalini is down there with those two chakras. Okay, so what am I telling you? All I can find are guys into where do guys into occult healing come from? I'll get to your question, LP. Now what am I saying? Your what am I saying? Your Kundalini is connected to your root and sacral chakra. Okay. And that's why you get the desire. You get the desire because that's natural. It's natural for you to get desire. It's not a blockage. It's called you being human. Okay. But you can use it for a higher purpose. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you envision this energy going up your spine, basically that's the Kundalini going up. All right. And also envision this energy all around your body. Of course, like I said, your imagination creates. Okay. Your imagination is your creative energy is feminine energy. So the masculine is the flame, right? So I'm telling you, the sexual energy turns into masculine energy, it turns into a flame. This is why it's hot. So that sexual energy is masculine energy. Now, what happens when you put that energy onto your imagination? Like I said, envision yourself as the flame, bring the energy up. Of course, it's not going to come over, but as you keep going and going, it's going to come all the way up. All right. And then envision what you desire. Put yourself in first person. Okay. What does it feel like? What does it taste like? What does it look like? What are the colors? What does it sound like? Put yourself in there. That's why I said so all these manifestation techniques, and they're telling you they're missing out the big important key is sexual transmutation. That's how you create, guys. Sexual transmutation. Now, of course, some people just automatically have this have higher than others. So yeah, when they do some of these techniques, they will manifest. But what I see a lot of time um is people come to me because they're not manifesting in love. They're doing all these techniques, they're not manifesting enough. Doing all these techniques, they're doing all the vision boards, they're doing all the affirmations, they're doing all the meditations, and nothing's happening, right? That's because you're missing the masculine energy. Again, this we're going into a situation where they're only focusing on the feminine energy now. So they're telling you all about these meditation techniques. Where's the masculine energy at? How are you going to create something without masculine energy? Okay. So the masculine energy, you're going to have to bring that sexual energy up. Okay. Um, so they're asking, LP's asking, where do guys into occult healing come from? Or can find our guys into a bunch of crack? Yeah, I mean, that's the sad thing. I mean, it's not their fault. Again, the real reason is because a lot of people get their primary source of information from Google and YouTube. All right. I tell people that I do sessions with, that's not how you want to gain your knowledge. YouTube and Google are supporters of primary sources of information. Okay. So if all you're doing is researching on Google and YouTube, you're going to have pieces of information. Okay. Remember that. You're going to get little piece here because think about it. Even my YouTube videos, it's a piece of information telling you something. It's, a holistic view is, when you get a step-by-step guide or a course or a book, these are primary sources of information. Then when you want more information on in a term within the course or the book or even a session with somebody, because that's the primary source as well, then you do more research through YouTube, through Google, etc. Okay, so that's why there's a lot of people with a bunch of crap, because they're getting pieces of information, then they give somebody else the piece of information. Remember, the information gets diluted as you go forward, and the more and more it gets into the next hand, it gets diluted even more. So that's what's happening. They're getting pieces of information, passing it on. It's getting even more diluted. Before you know, you have something totally different. I know you guys remember that thing that uh, practice you do in school, like in elementary school, where the teacher tells one person a secret, right? And then she tells you to whisper it to everybody. You know, everybody whispers it to the next person or sit next to. By the time it gets to that last person, it's totally different. That's what's happening. So you got to you got to get your stuff from primary sources of information. Okay. Primary sources of information. So Pisces raised by air sign. LP, I'm guessing you're saying you're a Pisces sun that was raised by air signs. Um Again, the sun sign, don't get confused by the sun sign. All right. I tell people all the time, this is why it's important to get a reading, because your sun sign does not dictate your element. You might be a Pisces sun, but then your ruling element might be earth. Okay. And also with the people you were raised by, they might have air on the sun, but then they might be something else ruled by. Okay. The sun is just a part of you, it's just your ego. I always say that the sun represents your ego, your frontal cortex, your masculine part of your mind. Remember, your masculine part of your mind is only about 7% of your mind. The rest is the subconscious mind. That's why the conscious mind is so easy to know. It's only about 7% of information. But the conscious mind, okay? So my walls are posted up. Oh, weirdo hoodoo nerds. Oh, you see those those affirmations? Yeah, tell people, get those affirmations on your walls. Get those pictures, draw those symbols out, put them on your walls, guys. That's that's a good thing, weirdo hoodoo nerds. It's a good thing. Um, yeah, Aquarius, with both my parents are Scorpio. Yeah, like I said, you got to check those charts, guys. Don't get fooled by the sun sign. That's just a part of a person. Or you have all those other planets, and not only that, you have all the houses. Not only that, you got to look what the planets are sitting next to. You got to look who's ruling the houses. You got to look through all that stuff. Okay, so again, back to cultivating this energy. Again, if there's any question, guys, go ahead, put your questions in the chat, and I'll get back to your questions, okay? But I'm trying to teach you guys how to manifest whatever you desire through sexual energy. Like I said, because most people are telling you about the feminine energy, about using your imagination, all right, imprinting that on your imagination. But yeah, you can't just create with just feminine energy, though. You got to have masculine energy. So you're going to have heat. All right. So again, I'm going to tell you. Oh, weirdo hoodoo nerds, just asking what are houses. The houses in your natal chart. Okay. I'm talking about your astrology chart. All right. You have 12 houses that are originally ruled. The first house is originally ruled by Aries, go all the way down to the 12th house, originally ruled by Pisces. Okay. Now, when you have a chart reading, you'll notice that you might have another sign ruling these houses. Okay. Um, no, not sex magic. We're talking about astrology here. I was talking about the houses in astrology. All right. Just to go over, like I said, the first house represents yourself, you as your body, what you project to others, how you move about in this world. Okay, all the way down. The second house represents what you own, your finances and stuff like this. I'm talking about, yeah. I'm talking about astrology charts. All right, the house is in your astrology. So I'm saying don't get confused by the sun sign. Okay, Miss Green Eyes X, Aquarian Sun, Scorpio rising, Gemini Moon in the 8th house of Scorpio. Okay, that's a lot of energy pointing to the occult. The 8th house is the house of taboo. All right. It's also the house of other people's money and stuff like that, other finances. But I like to go deep in a situation. It's the house of taboo. It's the house of this. It's the house of your secrets. It's the house of the occult. It's the house of what people are scared of. Okay, so when you got your sun in there and you got your moon, your heart, your desire, your true desires, the true you, you'll find yourself comfortable in the darkness. You'll find yourself comfortable with what people are scared of. You'll find yourself interested in many, many things that people might think you're a little weird. But that's good though. That's probably why you're on this channel right now. Okay. Weirdo hoodoo nerds are saying, okay, no, I meant like manifesting your desires through sexual energies. I know houses pertain to astrology. So are you asking how do you manifest through sexual energies? Is that what you're asking? Because again, I'll bring it up again just in case you didn't hear, but you want to bring this energy up your spine. Okay, when you're having sexual desires, I'm talking about just by yourself right now. But like I said, to truly really manifest on a higher level, you're going to need a partner. Just to be honest, I always tell you guys the truth. I'm not telling you guys a lie. Um, the reason why so many spiritual people talk about this manifesting alone stuff because it's easy to do that. But what happened? Any kind of easiness in this life is not meant to be easy. Okay. What happens when you're trying to plant seeds in the ground? You have to till the ground. You got to work the ground before, and then you got to wait all that time before you even get your fruits of your labor. Life is not meant to be easy. So yeah, sitting by yourself, focusing is very, very easy in a sense. Okay. I mean, it's not easy, but it's easy enough. Now, what happens when you're trying to do it with somebody else? That's when it's hard as crap. Okay, that's when it's hard. Um, okay. Uh, but like I was saying, I forgot. Let me finish your question. So when you're by yourself and you feel a sexual urges, right? You feel like you need to release. What I said also is you can even stimulate yourself to the point where you almost hit orgasm. Stop before you hit orgasm. Okay, stop. Wait. All right. Get yourself catch that energy. You want to catch it because, of course, it slips away real fast. All right. It slips away real fast. So you got to have the willpower to stop real quick when you're by yourself. Okay. Not when you're with another person, but I'm explaining, I'm just assuming that there's, you're asking by yourself. Right. So when you're by yourself, you have to stop. When you're with a partner, the woman does not have to stop. The man has to stop. All right. There's a technique called the in-ejaculation technique. Guys, all my men out there, I have the video on my channel. Go back to my old channel. Go back to the old videos on this channel and find the video about the in-ejaculation technique. All right, somewhere in the title. Okay. That's the technique the man has to use. See, when a woman it's all fine and dandy for her, she can keep going. All right, because there is a reason why she can have multiple orgasms is because she doesn't lose anything. I mean, she loses some, of course, but a man loses life force. Okay, he has the seed, right? It takes life to give life, so he has to destroy himself a little bit and give it to you. Okay, so you can keep going as a woman, but when you're a woman or a man, either one, when you're by yourself, you have to stop. All right, stimulate yourself to the point where you almost get to orgasm and stop. Catch the energy, envision it, bring it up your spine. Okay, envision the energy surrounding you. Let yourself be engulfed in the energy. Then envision what you desire. It takes willpower. Okay, so let me get to some of these questions. Um, Okay, so you're saying the Kundalini. Weirdo hoodoo nerds. Yeah, sexual energy is the Kundalini, if that's what you're asking. Yes. Also, does a person, Miss Green Eyes X, you're asking, also, does a person's ruling planet affect the manifestation abilities? In a sense. Because guess what? If you're ruled by the moon or if you're ruled by Jupiter, it's going to be a lot easier for you. Because see, when you're ruled by the moon, which I'm ruled by the moon, my chart is ruled by the moon. All right. When you're ruled by the moon, um, you're able to attract things in your life. But the thing is, it's very, very tricky because what happens with moon people? They go through many, many phases. So this is why it still kind of evens itself out. Nobody's better than anybody. Moon people go through many phases, okay? Many ups and downs in life. Go from right to left, many different situations, many, there's a lot of different things that happen to moon people. Jupiter people, a lot of them, again, they're known as lucky. But what does luck really mean? It means you're aligning with your higher self. Remember, the Jupiter represents your higher self. Okay, but it doesn't matter because, like I said, you have to look still through the pieces of the chart as well. You got to look at the pieces of the chart. You got to look at your Mars. You got to figure out, all right, what do you have to do? Because let's say you have air on the Mars. Remember, Mars is your divine masculine. Venus is your divine feminine. That's where you can find your manifestation problems at. What is your Mars doing? What does your Mars need to do to get activated? That's what you should be asking yourself. Yes, your ruling planet does have a part in this, a very big part. But all right, so what's the solution? That's where you find it in Mars and Venus. Okay. Um, is it the same as in ejaculation? Acid face melt. Yeah, the in ejaculation technique. Exactly what I'm talking about. All men out there, go to the video. You'll learn how to not waste sperm and still have an orgasm at the same time. That's the in ejaculation technique. It is very, very hard, by the way. Pretty much the same difference, I guess. This would be surely easy for dudes. Where do hoodoo nerds? No, it's not easier for dudes. It's not. It's really it's sperm really condensed sunlight. I don't know. I'm not even sure, but I know that sperm is life force. Okay, sperm is life force. That's why a man has to lose. He loses. Just look up how many vitamins and minerals the guy loses every time he ejaculates. All right, and that's just the physical aspects. Now we got to talk about the aspects of emotional, mental, and spiritual that he loses. Again, it takes life to give life. There's certain rules and regulations to life because this existence is ruled by Saturn. So there's rules here. This is why we have the laws of the universe. There's laws. Saturn rules laws. Okay, so it takes life to give life. Simple. All right. There's no other way to give life except for you have to take life. Um, okay. Weirdo Hoodoo Nerds, thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. Um, so Miss Green Eyes, you're saying your Venus is in Pisces, Mars is in Sagittarius. That's very, very contradictive energy. Okay. But still, when you have Pisces and Venus, okay, that means your creative energy, your creativity is connected to the spiritual realm. It's connected to the mysticism of life. That means your relationship has to be mystic. It has to have a deeper purpose. Your relationship with everything. Remember, Venus is everything in the existence, the pleasures of this world. When you engulf in pleasure, Venus in Pisces, that means you need to put your whole being in everything. It has to be deep. It has to be meaningful. Your relationships with everything have to be meaningful. Pisces is a good sign to be in Venus. Okay, but what happens though is a lot of people, a lot of people might abuse that. A lot of people you might meet might abuse that energy that you have right there. And then the Mars and Sagittarius is contradictive because okay, fire and water, guys, fire and water is two opposite energies. Remember, water and earth compatible, fire and air compatible, air and water it's hard. Okay, so when you have this within yourself, because Mars represents your relationship as well, remember you need the masculine and the feminine to create. You need the masculine and the feminine for your relationships. You need the masculine and the feminine for your dance in life. Okay. uh okay, so yeah, so true. Yeah, it is because see, Pisces energy is known as the savior energy and wants to see the good in all. Okay, it sees the good in all. So what happens? Remember, half of Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet known as the planet of illusion. But it's the savior planet. But they also in the occult, like I said, a lot of these new age astrologers are not hip to this yet. They're gonna get hip to it, but they're not hip to it yet. In the occult is known as the planet of illusion. Why? Because you can't save everybody. That's what the Piscean energy doesn't understand. You can't save everybody. Okay. Pisces has no protection as well, like Scorpio and Cancer. That's why Scorpio and Cancer are so guarded because they're sensitive, they're deep people. So they guard themselves. Okay. They guard themselves. Cancer guards itself by retracting in its shell. Scorpio guards itself by attacking. Okay, but they still hide behind. Um, they still behind hide because they're so sensitive. They're so deep, and they know they can get hurt. Now, Pisces is known as an escapist. All right, Pisces is known as escapist. It's an escapist sign. It's the fish. Think about it. Think about it, guys. Um, okay, so okay, so let me look at some of these comments, guys. All right, so Miss Green Eyes, you're asking how can we combine both Mars and Venus to manifest? Just what I was saying. Your divine feminine represents your sexual energy. Okay, you have to raise your sexual energy to manifest. All right. There's a thing Napoleon Hill said. Like I said, one of my favorite authors is Napoleon Hill, where he was doing studies on all these wealthy people. All these people that were millionaires and stuff, even at his time. And he said there's one common theme with all these people. They all have high sex drives. Okay. Not only that, but they all had a partner that pushed them behind the scenes. Okay. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Partnership is key. Not only that, your connections with others, period, is key. Okay. You can only get to a certain success level or spiritual level by yourself. Okay, by all means, get to that point though by yourself, but you can't go any higher after that certain point. You're going to need other people. You're going to need other energy. You're going to need somebody else's knowledge. You're going to need somebody else's guidance. And in return, they might need your guidance. You guys are supposed to be exchanging energy equally. The law of equal exchange. It's not just about money, but it's anything that you give to somebody, your time and effort, you need to receive something in return for that. Your sexual energy, you need to receive their sexual energy in return from that. It's the law of equal exchange. That's a law. Okay. But how to combine your Mars and Venus, right? So what I said Venus is creativity, right? Mars is raw energy. So, like I told you, most of these techniques about how to manifest, they're telling you about the feminine aspect. They're telling you about Venus. They're telling you sit down and envision, what you desire. Sit down and envision what you desire. Does that ever work for you when you just do that? Sometimes it will, of course, but we're talking about big things you desire. Has that ever worked? No, it's because you're lacking the masculine aspect. All right, so you have to understand, okay, your Venus, the sign of your Venus. What is the message the sign is telling you on your Venus? Okay, look at the aspects of the sign on your Venus. That's how you connect to your creative energy. Then you want to look at the sign of your Mars. What is the message the sign is telling you? Okay, think about that. Then that's when you tap into those messages, you tap into those characteristics. That's how you combine. You're putting your raw energy onto your creativity. That's what they say, envision and go act. Envision, go act. Okay. A lot of people are forgetting about Mars though. Uh okay. So okay. The water is the magic and the emotion. LP, yes, that is correct. Okay, but all you gotta not forget the fire too. Don't forget fire is emotion too. Okay. But it's a different kind, it's a more of a spiritual emotion. That's why when you're highly inspired, okay, that's fire energy. Okay, when you're inspired, when you're really, really motivated, and you're like, yo, I need to start this business. I need to go. I need to do this. That's fire energy. I'm so glad I'm a Scorpio rising. It does protect me a lot. Yes. But that Scorpio rising can guard you a lot. It can guard you too much. I mean, remember, you don't want to have fear. I always tell people as a spiritual being, you want to be fearless, especially if you're learning this information and you're really a ton of fear and you're learning all this stuff as if you're not applying it. Because if you start applying this stuff, you should start really, really feeling powerful. And again, I always tell people if you want to learn a bunch of techniques, go back to my older videos, start all the way from the beginning. I give you a whole bunch of techniques. Okay, how can we raise us? Miss Green Eyes, how can we raise our sexual energy? Well, of course, you can do simple bodily things like exercising properly, getting blood flow. But the thing about exercise people don't know is that you have to stretch out your body afterwards. So you stretch out your body before your exercise, but you also need to stretch out your body after exercise. That's what we're missing here because this is how you're distributing the energy and the blood flow, the oxygen through all your organs. Okay, look this stuff up. You need to stretch your body after you exercise so your organs are properly being fed the nutrition that it needs. A lot of times, we're not sexually active because we're not getting enough blood flow there. Okay, especially if you're male, you need more blood flow. Okay, so uh, like I said, stretching after exercise is one key. There's also herbs and stuff you can take to raise your sexual energy, like maca root. Maca root is an herb where you can that helps you. It basically gives you energy. Period. And in return, it raises your sexual energy as well. Okay. So maca root is a good herb you can take. I said that in my last live stream. Oh no, I think it was my last live stream when I was showing you guys that maca root is one of my favorite herbs. Also, ginseng. You can take ginseng. American ginseng is my favorite. That will raise your sexual energy. Okay. And there's many others, of course, do your own research, but macaroot and ginseng are my favorites. Gabby, you're saying just this one I thought it was okay to be on my own. I'm not telling you need to go fiend for somebody, you need to go find somebody right away. I'm saying that you can get to only a certain point by yourself. You as a human being, you need others. That's what I'm saying. If you're by yourself right now, that's fine. Continue on with your path, continue on learning, continue on raising your energy, and you'll attract what you need to attract. you'll attract the people that you need to have in your life. So just because you're by yourself doesn't mean like, oh man, I'm messing up in life. You're by yourself for a reason. But you just don't get this mind state where you become bitter, because a lot of people become bitter, and um a lot of people become bitter because they start hating other people because they got, somebody did them dirty. They got their feelings hurt. Okay, that's too being in too much in the ego. You'll notice that go on social media and see all the so-called spiritual people complaining about the opposite sex, or somebody with different financial uh stability, somebody who lives in a different town than them. That's so egotistical. Okay. Um, acid face melt. Uh, discussing trines. That's a whole deep topic. You might have to get a reading with me for that. Okay, because that's a whole deep topic. All right. So if you want to know specifically, of course, your specific chart, because it's only so deep that I can go in, about astrology with you guys, because I would have to look at your whole entire chart. So I don't want to give you misinformation. All right. There's only so much I can tell if you tell me, okay, your sun's in such and such, your moon's in such and such, and your ascendant is in such and such. Like there's only someone, I mean, there's not really much I can tell you, because I would have to look at your whole entire chart. I would have to see who's looking at who's in the first house. Have to see who you're ruled by, what's your ruling element, what's your ruling mode, uh, all these different things. Okay, you guys got to get off that horoscope, uh, because when you go on the horoscopes, they tell you about your sun sign, they tell you all this magnificent stuff. 99% of it is false, because you can't accurately read somebody just off those little things. You have to look at everybody. You have to look at everything in a holistic fashion. Okay. So as a face mail, if you do want to read them with me, of course, like I always say, my email is in the description of this video, and we can set up a consultation. Venus and Aquarius, again, the trines. I'm sorry now, the trines. uh okay. Okay, Miss Green Eyes, you're asking a wonderful question. How can you give sexual energy to a partner consciously during intimacy? Okay, this is why I said it's hard. I already told you, everybody wants to talk about that alone meditation because it's easy. It's easy to do the meditation when you're by yourself. What happens when you get somebody else and you guys want to work together? This is when it gets hard, because it's going to take intense focus on both partners. Okay. When you guys are connected sexually, the woman needs to envision energy coming into her. Okay, this is what you want to do. You guys want to. The best position to do this in is when the woman is sitting on top of the man, her legs is around his back. Okay, and the man is holding you in front. Okay, this is how you really, really connect. If you notice in a lot of tantra, they always have this position, because this is the best manifestation position where energy is both going up. Okay, woman, envision his energy coming inside of you at all times. You want to have that focus. You want to have that focus. Remember, your attention, wherever your attention goes, energy flows. Okay, so you're creating energy here when you're focusing on this area. Of course, you want to treat it like a meditation. You want to have your mind clear. You want to let the primal sense release itself. That's the only way the Kundalini is going to rise, because the Kundalini is primal energy. That's why they call it a dragon or a snake, signifying the animalistic energy. But your conscious mind blocks when you're always thinking blah, blah, blah. You're thinking too much during the sexual activity, and this is why it's important, to start out with a meditation first. Uh, calm the mind, both of you. Okay, woman, focus your attention here. on your sexual organs and envision his energy coming into you. Man, focus your energy on projecting in her. Okay. Again, you can even bring a color to it. Bring like a light color to your sexual organs. Man, envision this going into her. Woman, envision it coming into you. Okay. Envision your whole body getting engulfed in this energy. That's how you use it. But again, it's very hard to get to there. Then when you're about to reach orgasm, here's the key. Here's the kicker, guys. Woman, I mean, both of you. Okay, here's the hard part. Here's the real hard part. Okay, because you want to reach orgasm at the same time. Okay, but man, you don't want to release your seed. This is why I told you the interjaculation technique. You want to do the interjaculation technique. Watch that old video. Anybody who's new in the chat right now, go back to, if you're a man specifically, go back to my old video on the interjaculation technique, and it breaks it down how to do it. I'm not going to break it down here because it's going to take too long. But that video breaks on down how you do it. The man, you need to have an orgasm, but not spill the seed, because you need to keep going afterwards. But you guys need to achieve orgasm at the same time. So this is going to take honesty between both partners. Okay? This is going to take honesty, communication. Doesn't have to be verbal communication. Remember, it doesn't have to be verbal communication, but you guys want to connect and have an orgasm at the same time. But you need to keep going afterwards. The woman, that's why I told you, the woman doesn't have to stop during this period. She can have the orgasm and keep going. So the man, you have to do your interjaculation technique and have this orgasm at the same time she's having it, not spill the seed, and then keep pushing through. Because what you're doing, you're bringing the heat up. Both of you are bringing the fire up, and it's going to reach your pineal glands, and it's going to stimulate your whole entire body. It's going to stimulate your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body. Then you're going to have a real orgasm. Half of the orgasm people are having today are not really real. You're only having a physical orgasm. It's very shallow. Wait till you have those four worlds stimulated at the same time and see what kind of energy you tap into. You better hope you're ready for that. Okay. Thank you, LP. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, let me get to some of these comments. Michael DeLine, what's up, my brother? Miss Green Eyes, you're asking how much are your readings? Yeah, I don't pay attention to horoscope. How much are your readings? All my readings are on sale for $80 right now. Okay. All my readings are on sale for $80 right now. There's no time limit to my readings as well. So a lot of them come to be 2 to 3 hours. Especially an astrology reading, there's a lot of information I got to give you. So it's going to be about three hours, 2 to 3 hours. But remember, I always tell people, if you get to a point where you need to stop, we can always stop and then start from where we left off with another session, but it doesn't charge. And then after the session, after the reading, my line is always open to you for any questions or any more advice, where we hop back on the phone or we go through text, and it's no charge. Okay, so I'm with you on this journey after the reading for that specific reading. If I gave you an astrology reading, that means you're connected to me. You'll be able to ask me anything you want, get any more information, any more guidance to your astrology chart. Okay. Somebody, I tell people all the time, somebody hit me up a year later and I was like, yeah, it's still open for you. Trust me. Doesn't matter if it's 5 years later. You have, and you need guidance with your astrology chart, and I gave you an astrology reading before. You can always contact me, and any other connection we have is no charge. Okay. So all my readings are on sale for $80 right now. Like I said, there's no time limit on the session. So it can be most likely it's going to be about 2 to 3 hours. Then you have advice from me anytime you need it, where we can hop back on the phone for a little bit, where I can explain something for you, give you advice, and then we go from there. Or I can reference you some books or anything. Okay. Okay. A Desire. Email me about that, Desire, about the books on this Tantra. because I don't know the books off the top of my head right now. Okay. But that's a good question, though. Thank you for asking that question. Miss Green Eyes. So, how can women give energy to men to create balance? It's not about giving any energy to men. You don't have to give any energy to men. Okay. He should be giving energy to you. He's the projector. Unless you're playing the masculine role, Miss Green Eyes, unless you're playing the masculine role and you're projecting to him. But if you're playing the feminine role, you do not need to give him any energy. Okay. Uh okay. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Gabby. Um, but yeah, Miss Green Eyes, you don't have to worry about giving energy to men. That's the thing. Okay, I just want to let you know that because I did see you ask that twice, so I'm sorry if I didn't see it the first time. Um, but yeah, what you want to do, you want to focus on what energy you're getting from him because you got to make sure you're getting the right energy. Remember, just like sexual, he puts the seed in you. You got to understand what is he putting in you. All right. This is why you have to really analyze what you're when I tell people, because even just being around people's sexual energy, why they tell you birds of a feather flock together? Because people are projecting things onto you. Okay. So what happens when you get into a real intimate situation and a guy is projecting something into you? Do you know what he's projecting into you? Okay. So you want to focus your mind on realizing, okay, what am I receiving? That's what you want to be focused on. The man should be focused on, okay, what am I giving? All right. And like I said, unless you're playing the masculine role, because sometimes it does play out. Remember, energy has nothing to do with what sex you are. So if you really are playing the masculine role, then that's when you want to worry about what you're projecting. All right. What are you projecting to him? You know, how are you leading him? Sounds weird, but hey, there's some women that are playing the masculine role, especially in today's time. Okay. Uh okay, acid face melt. How about energy focus coming from the crown chakra? How about energy focus coming from the crown chakra? I'm not sure what your question is. What your question is. Can you please reword that for me? How about energy focus coming from the crown chakra? Yeah. Are you saying yeah, I'm not sure. Can you please reword that and I'll try to answer it the best way that I can. Okay. I had a Kundalini express in a dream state. Oh, so Miss Green Eyes, you're saying you had a Kundalini experience in a dream state. That's because that's when your subconscious mind is open, remember. Your subconscious mind is open in dream state. Okay. Um Yeah, but when you get this energy high, this is when you'll start lucid dreaming, guys. Lucid dreaming is the funnest thing you could ever do. You know, I enjoy my lucid dreams. All right, because anybody that knows this that ever lucid dream before, you know, you literally are like Superman in your dream or Superwoman, and you just create whatever you want to create. But a lot of times you can use this as a learning process. Guys, I'm going to give you a quick tip. Okay, before you go to sleep, have something that you want to learn, you know, write it out. You know, write out on a piece of paper with pencil, write it out with piece of paper on pencil, right? This is a quick tip. This is another manifestation thing. All right. I'm trying to tell you, you have an intense moment to manifest every single day, every single night when you go to sleep. Because guess what? Your subconscious mind becomes open when you go to sleep. And remember, I told you feng shui, everything in your existence connects to your subconscious mind. So write out something that you want to learn or something that you want to bring into existence. Write it out, put it under your pillow. Put it under your pillow. Okay. And then every morning before you go, I mean, every night before you go to sleep, read it because you want to put it in your conscious mind. That should be the last thing you're thinking about before you go to sleep. Put it under your pillow. That's when you're really, yeah, that's some really good stuff. Okay. Um, in mine, I'm also trapped in getting hunted. LP, you're saying in your dream state? Um, a lot of people have this dream where they're running away or they feel trapped. You want to know why? It's because you're trapping your true self. You're running away from your true self. That's why everybody has that same kind of dream. Okay? You're running away from yourself. You're trapping yourself. You're not being your true self. You're not letting yourself out the cage. Open the cage. It's going to be scary. People are going to make fun of you. That's a part of the game. I tell people all the time, start a YouTube channel. Yes, you're going to have people to troll you. Yes, you're going to have people to call you names. Yes, you're going to have people calling you a Satanist if you're doing what I'm doing. So what? That's a part of the game. That's when you know you're doing something powerful. Not everybody is going to agree with your message. Who cares? Not everybody is going to agree with what you are and what you represent. All right. I represent a different kind of energy in the spiritual community. Okay. I told you, I tell people and over again, I consider myself an occultist. Okay. Really do the research on the occult. It's way different from just regular spirituality. Okay. So yeah, I get called all kinds of stuff, because I look at the balance. I don't just focus on the feminine. I don't just focus on the masculine. I'm trying to get you guys into true balance where you are taking life serious, but you're having fun at the same time. That's what I'm telling you guys to go out and connect with others. Tell me any other spiritual person that's telling you to go out and have fun with your friends. You let me know. Because I know there might be some, of course, I'm not the only one, but I hear a lot of them telling you need to be by yourself. Okay. And that's where they're messing people up. So, okay, acid face melt. Energy coming into the crown chakra, going down like a reverse Kundalini. Yes. And that's what you should be using when you're sun gazing. Guys, if you don't know about sun gazing, I have a video on sun gazing. Go back to my video on sun gazing, and I teach you exactly how to do that. Where you're bringing the sun's energy through the pineal gland, and then you're barefoot on bare earth. You're barefoot, and you're bringing up that negative charge from the earth. The sun is positive energy. Masculine energy is positive energy. Okay, and this doesn't mean bad or good. By the way, we're talking negative charge, positive charge. Okay, you get a negative charge from the earth. It's feminine. Negative charge is female energy. That's why they call it Mother Earth. Positive charge is masculine. That's why you get it from the sun. So when you're sun gazing, this energy goes to the pineal gland. Then the energy from the earth is coming up, and then both of these energies meet into the heart chakra. This is how you expand your heart chakra. This is how you achieve the Merkaba. If you guys have heard that term, the Merkaba, that's the only way to achieve the Merkaba again. Masculine and feminine energy. This is the secret I'm telling you guys. Everything is masculine and feminine energy. Everything is sexual mutation. Okay? Everything. LP, they call you a Satanist too. Yeah, I mean, you got to deal with the punches, man. Miss Green Eyes, how can you use your intuition as a woman to see what energy you're receiving from a man? Um, that takes practice. Again, the only way, like, it's like saying, how can you use how can you get your arm stronger? You got to start using it. So with the intuition, you got to start trusting your intuition more. And yes, the intuition will get you into trouble. You want to know why? It's because you're supposed to go through pain to get better. So, Miss Green Eyes, what you want to do is start testing your intuition. What do you feel like you should do right now? Because a lot of times we're bypassing what our intuition is telling us. So you got to start trusting your intuition. You're going to get into a lot of trouble because that's what a life is about. I tell my clients, if you're not making at least one mistake a day, you're not truly living. That is truth. You got to make mistakes. All right. Go outside and make mistakes. Go outside and use your intuition. Trust your intuition. Try it out. How do you feel about the person? All right, when you're going to just take a walk. Okay, just take a walk outside. And again, you trust your intuition. Feel it out. Which way should you go? When you reach a point where you gotta when you get to the street, you gotta go either this way, or straight. Feel it out. What is your intuition telling you? Keep practicing that. Do little things. What is your intuition telling you when you're watching a movie? What is your intuition telling you when you're having a conversation with somebody? Okay, you got to start using it. Okay, when you don't use it, you lose it. So a lot of people have lost their intuition, including women. Okay, because everybody is in a masculine state right now, even though it's starting to push the feminine, but we're still hanging on to the only masculine right now. Okay, so in return, practice. Then you'll be able to utilize it. Then you'll be able to know right off the bat. In ancient times, a woman could be 3 blocks away and sense the man's energy and know exactly that's the energy she wants. Okay. There was no such thing in ancient times as a man having to pursue you because you already knew. What is the point of him trying to pursue you if he's trying to persuade you? That's what the new age is about, right? The new age of dating. Let's be honest, guys. The guy is trying to persuade you. He's telling you all these things to try to make you say, okay, I'm gonna give him a chance. Okay. He shouldn't have to persuade you. You should already know if you want him or not and say, oh, no, that's not the energy I want. Okay. But a lot of times women miss out on energy that they really need because they're not using their intuition. They're only going off of what they want to see. When they have, I always tell people, my women out there and men too. I ain't gonna leave the men out. If you got a list of things that you want from somebody, throw it out in the trash. You're already doing it wrong. You're already doing the relationship thing wrong. If you got a whole list, say, oh, she must have this, she must have that, or he must have this, he must have that. That's the only way I'm gonna date him. You're already messing up. That's why you alone. To be honest, I'm just telling you the truth. Okay. You're already messing up. A lot of people don't have those lists. They all alone, right? Okay, so okay. So yeah, Miss Green Eyes, practice, okay? Practice your intuition. Go outside, make mistakes. Yeah, you're gonna feel pain, okay? You're gonna feel hurt. You're gonna maybe get laughed at. You're gonna feel like you're stupid. But remember, this is a part of life. This is how you live, guys. You don't live when you're hiding away because you don't want to make no mistakes. That's not how you live. That's not what being spiritual is about. Being a spiritual is about getting to this next level, stepping up. Okay, you should be, tapping into this fearless energy. That's what I'm telling you. You gotta, and real spirituality is masculine and feminine energy here. Everybody wants to talk about just the feminine energy when it comes to spirituality. Okay, we're leaving out the masculine energy, that fire, that heat, that ambition. You should be amped when you're becoming more spiritual. You should be moving around. You should be like, what can I do next? Where can I go next? How can I use my intuition more? What can I try to manifest now? That's how you should be feeling. You shouldn't be slowing down. Um yeah. Oh, Michael Delon, I'm sorry, I forgot to answer your question. How can I effortlessly take action without resistance? There's always going to be resistance. Okay, there's not going to be no time when you take action and there's no resistance, Michael Delon. That's just a part of life. Remember, Saturn rules this existence. Saturn does not let you get things without working for them. All right. So, in return, if you're trying to manifest something and you're not putting any energy out there, you're not doing anything about it, you won't receive it because you don't deserve it. That's Saturn's rule. Remember, Saturn rules this existence, this physical plane. Okay. So that's why we have all the laws of the universe. Study the laws of the universe. Okay. Miss Green, as I feel like mine has decreased and I'm trying to enhance my intuition again. Um, That's why, yeah, you gotta keep practicing. Just remember, like I said, if you don't use it, you lose it. So your intuition, you might feel like you don't have is because you haven't been using it. So remember, like I was telling you earlier, try to practice it. Try to trust it more. And like I said, that simple technique of just walking out, right, and then letting your intuition guide you of where you should go. Just take a long walk, take a 2-hour walk, and just let your intuition guide your direction. Okay. Let yourself be free. This is why people have dreams of being trapped and running away, is because you keep running away from yourself and you keep trapping yourself. Let your energy out. Don't matter what everybody else has to say. They're not going to get it. They're not going to understand. And they're going to do what they do. Do you want to do what the masses do? They're called sheeple for a reason. Now, some of us, all of us have been sheeple at one point in time too, but we grew out of it. Now we're on a different plane. We have to keep pushing forward and say, look, they're doing their thing right now. We can't pay attention to it. So yeah, they're not going to agree with it. Okay. Okay. Uh, yes, I find I choose men that are selfish. Remember, you attract what is inside of you. Always keep that as in key. Okay. I don't want to make this like a battle between the sexes like it is on social media. Okay, you attract what you have with inside of you. So that means if you want to attract a different kind of male, that means you got to raise your frequency. Okay, raise your frequency. Take care of your body, take care of your emotions, take care of your mind, learn more, consume more information, do these techniques like I'm telling you all throughout my all my videos. Look at all my videos of how to raise your frequency, and you won't have to worry about what you attract, what kind of men you attract. Okay, because you're going to attract what you are. Remember, you receive what you deserve and you receive what you are. You also receive what you ask for. Okay. Mistakes we may not choose. But yeah, it's okay. Like I said, we all make mistakes. Like I've attracted plenty of women in my existence that was considered not my, not to my liking. But again, that was my fault because I was putting out different energy out there. Now I don't have that problem. Okay. Now I don't have that problem because again, you got to be conscious about what you project to the world because that's what you're going to get back. All right. So it's okay to make mistakes. We all been there. Everybody has bad relationships and all that. That's a part of the game too. Think about those relationships. They made you stronger, didn't they? They made you more intelligent, didn't they? Yes. Emeralds of wisdom. Thank you for the information. Thank you, Miss Green Eyes and Emerald of Wisdom. You guys are really interacting. You're bringing a lot of energy here, and I appreciate it. I appreciate both. I appreciate everybody in the live stream. Thank you all. Shout out to all of you. Michael Delon, let's see. Shout out to all of you. I love you guys, and I do these live streams for you guys. Like I said, anything you guys want to talk about. Should I study human psychology? Yes. Michael Delon, study human psychology, study everything, become a student of life. I study psychology. Okay. Psychology is very important. See, what happens today is people get stuck on one thing, and this is why their knowledge is so shallow. Okay. It's just like being stuck in one religion. Your knowledge is going to be shallow if you're only in one thing. All right. We're in a different age. We're coming into the age of Aquarius, the genius. You don't become a genius by just knowing about one thing. You got to study everything. Study everything. Get every kind of book. If you see my library, I have all kinds of different books. Books on music theory, I have books on psychology, I have books on finances, I have books on meditation, I have books on hand analysis, on astrology, on health, how to cure fatigue, vitamins and minerals, the body, uh, the biology of the body. I have books on history, on I'm just looking around on all kinds of stuff. You want to study everything, my brother. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Emeralds of Wisdom. Thank you for dropping that knowledge. Okay. Thank you all. Michael DeLine, do I still need to keep asking myself questions to get the results I want? Yes. Okay. What's the best way to do soul work? Um, where do you, Miss Greenhouse, you're asking where you look to yourself and see aspects that need healing or transforming. Well, that again, that takes real deep reflection. Okay. That takes real deep reflection. This is why I tell people to have a diary. All right. The best thing you could ever do is have a diary because I'm gonna tell you how to use it. Okay, because it may be difficult to analyze yourself without one. So you want to write it out. So this is what you want to do, guys. Every day, at the end of the day, you want to write out. Be honest with yourself. Okay, you could put all the hate, everything, all the anger, all the sadness in your diary. Be honest with yourself. It's very, very key. At the end of the day, write in your diary what ticked you off, what made you sad, what made you happy, what made you glad. Write it all out until you feel good. Don't read it then. Just write it out first. Don't read it. Don't proofread it or anything. You don't have to learn, you know how to spell words. You don't have to make sure. Remember, you're just reading this. Okay. Do this every day. Okay. Then after like a week, go back and look at this. Look at the stuff that you said and keep doing that. Keep reviewing after every week. What you're going to know, you're going to see a pattern here. Okay. You're going to see a pattern here. And this is how you can start analyzing, okay, what do I need to work on? That's how you can know. So Miss Green Eyes, having a diary and reading over what you wrote. That's why I said it's very important to be honest. Let it all out. Let the hatred out. Let the sadness out. All that stuff. A lot of times we bottle this stuff up. There is no getting rid of hatred. It's a part of human psychology. They're lying to you if they tell you can get rid of it. Okay. But you can't let it be bottled up with inside of you. This is why it's important to, release that anger, exercise and stuff like that. Or you can get it out through this way where you're putting it out or you're putting it in something creative. There is no getting rid of hatred and sadness. That's a part of human psychology. You need to feel those things to grow. Okay, so write it out, analyze it. What are the patterns that you're seeing? This is how you can tell. This is how you can know what you need to fix. Of course, you can do it through meditation as well, but I'm telling you an easy way. Meditation, that means you're going to have to really learn how to clear your mind. That takes time. That takes years of practice. So do that as well. Take 15 minutes before you go to sleep or 15 minutes when you first wake up to try to clear your mind. Try to follow your breath. Focus on your body, focus on your physical body when you're in meditation. Focus on your knees, focus on your legs, focus on your head, because it's going to help you take your mind off of your thoughts. Okay? But you want to learn how to clear your mind first. That's the first step in meditation. When you're able to hold that clear mind for about 10, 15 minutes, this is when you can utilize it to go back into your personal Akashic records. Because there's a lot of things that happen to you in life that you just forgot. Okay. Because guess what? The conscious mind is the masculine mind, right? So what does the masculine energy do? It protects. So when some kind of trauma happens to you, the conscious mind likes to race it and throw it in the back. So you don't remember it. So you're not stressed out all the time. Okay. But you're going to have to remember, you're going to have to go face to face and face your so-called demons. This is what it means by facing your demons. Okay. Um, okay. Acid face melt. You're saying not asking for specifics, but seeing the natal chart, can it pinpoint what part of the body needs soul work, including the emotional body when it regards to repress? Yes. The natal chart will tell you exactly what you need to work on and exactly how you need to move. Okay. So that's why a natal chart reading is very important, is very inspiring Ask anybody, is there anybody in the chart that had a reading from me before? It's very inspiring. It helps you. It gives you a map, a journey where you can start a step-by-step process. Okay. So yes, it tells you what you need to work on. But half the time, I always say you don't want to focus on your weaknesses. You want to put more energy into your strengths. So more importantly, I tell people about their strengths. I say, be aware of your weaknesses. Be aware of your weaknesses. Be conscious of your weaknesses. But shift all your energy to what you're good at. Because guess what? That's why you need other people. You're not meant to master everything. You're meant to master what you need to master in this lifetime and partner with somebody who's mastering things in your weaknesses. That's the key here. The key is other people. I'm trying to tell you. So that's a good question. Acid face melt. That's a very good question. Okay. But so, like, again, if you want that natal chart reading, email me email me occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email is in the description of this video. Okay, emeralds of wisdom. Once you recognize what you need to be healed, you're now aware, can fix it. Whoop duper. Techniques to make your Kundalini rise. You don't even need too many techniques, but like I said, I guess you're new in the live stream, so I was telling people sexual transmutation is how you make your Kundalini rise. Okay. If you're by yourself, you can stimulate yourself to the point where you get to orgasm. Do not orgasm though, especially if you're a male. Stop, catch the energy, and envision this energy going up your spine. Okay? Envision this energy going up your spine. There's many other techniques, but again, I try to make things easy for you guys because there's so many other techniques that are very complicated, more advanced. So it's no point in telling you something too advanced for you. Depending on your level. I know everybody's on a different level here, but I like to give the easy things out first. Okay. So catch the energy. And I know it's hard, but that's easy compared to all the other techniques. Trust me. Catch that energy, that sexual energy, and envision it going up your spine. Of course, you're going to need to do this over and over again. Nothing happens very fast. And also envision yourself becoming a flame. Engulf yourself in sexual energy. You're going to make your body feel really hot. Engulf yourself, pretend that you're sitting in the middle of a flame and it's all coming out of your sacral and root chakra. That's how you raise the Kundalini energy. Like I said, that's not the only technique. There's many other techniques that you can probably find out there. So that's just like I said, an easy, so-called easy technique. Do you meditate in darkness? Yes, meditating in darkness is perfectly fine. Thank you, Desire. Blessings and abundance to you too. Thank you. Have a nice night. Yeah. Thank you, Emeralds of Wisdom. Thank you, Miss Green Eyes. Thank you, Acid Face Melt. Thank you to everybody that's in the live chat. I appreciate the interaction. This is what I wanted, man. I wanted you guys to interact with each other, because it's not just about me. It's about, everybody. Everybody has knowledge. You guys can teach me things. Trust me. I don't know everything. I'm not perfect. So I'm listening. I'm looking here. I'm seeing what you guys are saying, and I'm learning as well. So remember, this is like a group thing. What I'm going to do too, I'm going to set up a group on Facebook sooner or later. I have a lot of things on my plate right now. Like I said, I got this music project coming up, and I'm doing a ton of consultations for people right now, because everybody's trying to get their consultations before I have to stop. Okay. So again, I still have some openings, guys. If you need astrology readings, tarot readings, readings on how to lose weight and detox properly, spiritual guidance, and also how to make money from home. Okay. Okay, Emeralds of Wisdom, you're asking, does a moon in Capricorn make it harder to express emotional on the outside? Yes. Because the moon is on its fall in Capricorn. Remember, see, what's the opposite sign of Capricorn? The opposite sign of Capricorn is Cancer. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So automatically there's going to be friction. The moon falls in Capricorn. It also falls in Scorpio. All right. When you have the moon in Capricorn or Scorpio, you're going to have a hard time expressing your emotions. Why? Because this is what you were taught. You might not have received the emotional need that you needed when you were in your childhood. Remember, the moon represents your mother. So the moon tells you how you can nurture yourself and how you nurture other people in return. Because see, the moon's telling you, okay, how did your mother nurture you? Because this is going to be how you nurture others. Remember, how you grew up, your past dictates your future. This is why it's very important when you're raising children, those first, all the way up into puberty, what you put inside the child usually is going to be how they dictate their life, unless they have the willpower to change it. It's very, very hard to change those aspects in the beginning of your life. But you can do it. It just takes willpower. Okay. So Capricorn moon and Scorpio moon, people, there's hardship, there's scars in the emotional realm from your childhood, and you can find out deeper when you look in the fourth house in astrology. Look in that fourth house and find out what's going on. Again, if you need professional help, a professional astrologer doesn't have to be just me. There's many other professional astrologers, but I will tell you they're going to charge you a whole lot more than I do. Astrology readings take a lot of work. This is why they're like $600, okay? Right now, I'm only charging $80 for astrology readings. Okay, what about Gemini moon in the 8th house expressing emotion? Again, that's an air sign. Gemini is an air sign, so that means it's chaotic. Okay? The emotion, it's not a fall, but that just means the emotions, the inner part of you is scattered. There's a lot of movement, because Gemini is a fast moving sign. It's children, you see children all over the place doing all these different things, right? So that in return, that's how your inner emotions play out. But then when you put it into the eighth house, it's going to be chaotic in darkness. 8th house is the house of darkness, the house of taboo, the house of the occult, the house of the secrets. So in return, Miss Green Eyes, you're most likely holding too many secrets in your emotional realm. You're holding too much. And that's probably why it's making it so chaotic in your emotional realm. You're holding too much. Okay, you have to let these things out. Remember, so back to the diary thing. This can help negate that. But of course, we need your whole entire chart. We need to look at your whole entire chart and see what's going on. Our emotions are acid face melt. You're saying emotions are tricky to understand. Depends in all aspects of what planets are placed. Yeah, exactly. Acid face melt. You're right. That's what I'm saying. It's very, very hard for me to give you advice if I'm not seeing your whole entire chart. I can only give you so much. But again, if you need a real accurate reading, of course, you're going to need a astrology reading from an astrologer, a personal astrologer. You're asking, how can I release emotions? Well, one good way, I remember somebody told me about this technique in psychology, right? Which is very powerful. Is they said they got a rag or a sock or some kind of cloth and put it in their mouth, right? And then just screamed into it as loud as they can. Remember, the cloth is muffling the sound. Okay, this is a technique they use in psychology, and you just scream into it and let it out. Okay, you're gonna have to go deep into yourself, and you're gonna have to let that water out, let those tears out. But it has to be like that heavy cry, not just the regular, tears coming out. No, in order to release water, remember, tears, water. You gotta have that heavy cry where your body it feels like it's shutting down almost. Because after that, what happens after that? That's when you feel like you're having a spiritual awakening, because you're releasing blockages in the emotional realm, the water element. You're moving it. So a lot of men have this problem because they don't cry. But when I say cry, like I said, not crying just for little things. I'm talking about where you're crying, releasing it all out. Most likely you might want to be by yourself for this. Let it all go. You're holding on to too much. Okay? Miss Green Eyes, like I said, your moon is in Gemini and it's in the 8th house. You're holding on too much. All right. That's why it's making your emotions chaotic. So you got to stream it out, cry it out, write it out, the diary, write it out. Okay. Do your meditation where you're calming the mind so you can go into your past and find out what's hidden in there and face those demons, demons, beat those memories, create a disassociation with the memories. Okay, when you're having a memory about something that's negative, create a disassociation. If you're seeing yourself in first person, come out and look at yourself in the memory. Discolor the memory, make the memory small in your imagination, and then make the memory go far away from you. You're creating a disassociation. Okay. Emerald is a wisdom. My sun is in Cancer and moon is in Capricorn. Okay, again, there's going to be a lot of conflict because again, the remember the sun is your conscious self. Okay, the self that you think you are. Okay, the remember the sun is that light that you're trying to run to. So whatever your sun is, you're trying to run to these characteristics. You're trying to project this to people. Remember, the sun projects. You want to project Cancer energy. You want to seem you like a Cancer energy. But guess what? When people really get to know you, they realize you Capricorn at the bottom. All right. Capricorn is the you all the way inside that nobody sees that you're covering up. So that means you're gonna flip totally opposite on people. But that could be a good thing though. See, remember, you know, that could be a good thing though. Don't focus on your weaknesses. Yeah, acid face melt. Like I was saying, let that cry out. Feel the energy vibrate. Yeah, yeah. Um, Miss Green Eyes, you're saying your sun is in the 4th house. I forget what sun you said. Yeah, yeah. Again, I would have to, look at your whole entire chart. Again, I can't really break this stuff down if I'm not seeing your whole entire chart. Okay. But I'm only giving you pieces because that's only a piece. Remember. Oh, you're saying your sun is in Aquarius and it's in the 4th house? Well, again, yeah, you're bringing my sun is in my 4th house too. So again, you're bringing light to the home. You're illuminating the past. When you have your sun in your 4th house, that means you have a heavy, long past. Not only that, but I'm talking about past lives as well. Okay, past lives as well. And again, you got to look at you got to see what else is going on in that 4th house too. But it means that you're illuminating the ancestry line. It's very important for sun in the 4th house people to study their ancestry line because your light, your shining light, your guiding light is in your ancestry line. Okay. You need to study your family, study your bloodline. You're going to get a ton of information on what you can use to become illuminated, to become the so-called Illuminati. You like how I said there, right? The Illuminati, because all those people are talking, oh man, Illuminati this. No, Illuminati is the illuminated ones. You become illuminated with tons of wisdom. We're becoming the Illuminati. Don't let them steal that name from you. Don't let them steal that name from you. Again, you keep giving your power away, being scared of the term Illuminati. You're the Illuminati. So your sun gives you the direction on how you can become illuminated, how you can become the sun and be totally yet still and have the world and have worlds revolving around you. Okay, so sun in the 4th house is telling you your past, your home life, your mother is connected to showing you how you can have worlds revolve around you. Thank you, Miss Green Eyes. Thank you for, thank you all again for tuning into this channel. You know, but again, where's your sun at, people? Find your sun in your chart. It's telling you what, it's telling you how you can illuminate and have worlds revolve around you, because you're a universe. You are the universe. Are you operating your universe correctly? That's what astrology readings are really for. It's personal development. It's not just intellectual masturbation. Okay. Acid face melt. How about the sun in the first house? The sun is revolving around. It's telling you you need to focus on yourself. You need to go into yourself, because the first house is the house of the self. So it's illuminating inside of you, telling you, yo, you don't need to be searching all out in the world and too much. Of course, that is still healthy to do, but you need to learn you. You need to master yourself. Because obviously, if you have the sun in the first house, that means you have a lot of karmic debt that's connected to what you were doing in the past. You probably neglected your health. You probably neglected your mental stability. You probably neglected your emotional stability in past lives. And now in this life, in return, universe is telling you, yo, you got to focus on balancing you. You got to get yourself healthy. You got to get yourself powerful. Use the gifts that the universe is giving you. It's illuminating, showing you this is how you can illuminate yourself, is by paying attention to yourself. Okay. Emeralds of wisdom. You have to see the planet, the sign is ruling you. I'm not saying that you're more Capricorn, but you're Capricorn on the inside. But you're more like the sign that's ruling your whole entire chart. Okay, again, you would have to get an astrology reading to find that out. So there's only, again, I'm gonna say it one more time for you guys, because there's a lot of astrology questions. There's only so much information I can give you if I don't know your whole entire chart, because even some of this information might not be accurate, because there's something else in the chart that's negating it. Okay. What about if Pluto is your chart ruler? Um, if Pluto's your chart ruler, then that means your direction in life is going to be about destroying yourself and rebuilding yourself. Okay, Pluto is a hard planet to have it, as your ruler. Okay. It's about, so you're really going to have to put yourself out there, because literally Pluto's telling you to show uh to show bravery, to show fearlessness. Remember, Pluto rules half of Scorpio. This is where Scorpio's fearlessness comes from. You think it would come from Mars, but it's not. Pluto's on a whole nother level when it comes to power. All right. So your direction is receiving power in life. Okay. Um, and in return, because when you're ruled by Pluto, sometimes you can become power hungry, and this comes in many different fashions. Okay, a lot of times this power shows in relationships where you want to control everything. Okay, you don't want to show your weaknesses, because you might think, oh, if I show my weaknesses, I'll lose power. That's what Pluto, it shows you you're a powerful person, but guess what? That power can also destroy you. With great power comes great responsibility, Miss Green Eyes. Comes with great responsibility. So you gotta, you have to put yourself out there and experience the world as somebody, as you're ruled by Pluto, because you're gonna go through a lot of power struggles. You're gonna have to give up power, because what you're gonna understand is when you give up some power, you can gain more. That's another secret. But again, we're talking about other people. When you're trying to hoard all the power to yourself, that's when you become unpowerful and you destroy yourself. But when you share your power and you take people up with you, you'll in turn become more powerful. That's the secret. Again, is bringing it back full circle, everybody, that the key to success and the key to reaching your higher self is connections with others. All right. There's only so far you can get by yourself. Okay. Um, Okay, makes sense. Acid face melt, you're saying makes sense. I'm in touch with myself very well. However, I do tend to worry more other than myself when it comes to emotional stress, only due to being a sponge. Is there a way to limit that? Back in one of my other live streams, I gave people a technique to create a dome around your body when you go out into public. Envision your dome. Remember, your imagination creates. So before you go outside, you can go back to that live stream, how to protect yourself in public. But I'm gonna go through an overview, but I go over this. And I go over some other techniques on how you can protect yourself too, where you're not becoming a sponge. But what you want to do is you want to before you go out in public, you want to envision a dome all around your body, under your feet as well. People forget about the feet. I always say negative energy lingers on the ground, on the floor, especially in your household. So when you're saging, guys, you want to sage the floors. Pay attention to the floors. If you have rugs, you know you really got to do some work. Okay. So acid face melt. Go back to my that live stream. It's called How to Protect Yourself in Public, because I'm giving you all these techniques where you can hide your you can um protect your energy. All right. This is why you don't have to fear when you go out into public. Go out to networking events, go out to meetup groups, go out with your friends out to eat and stuff, go out to party with your friends. You could do this as a spiritual person when you have these tools. Okay, the reason why spiritual people are scared to do these things is because they're all open. Their chakras are all open. Again, go to that live stream. I talk about all that stuff on how to properly protect your chakras and all that, because they're not doing it right. That's why they're telling you to be by yourself and be in the house all day, because they're not doing it right. Now, this was a long talk, you guys. I got a couple things I need to do, so I'm gonna hop off this live stream. But again, I appreciate everybody in the live stream. I hope you guys got a lot of information. Again, if you want these readings, there's only a little bit of time left. I think I'm gonna be doing readings for the next week or two. I'm not sure. If you want these readings, astrology readings, you want to learn about your whole entire chart, like I was saying, email me in the description. occulthealing22@gmail.com. That's my email. The email is in the description. Email me. You want the tarot readings, you want the detox sessions. I'll teach you how to really, really properly detox the body, where you'll feel like new afterwards. Spiritual guidance, also how to work from home, how to make money online and work from home. Again, so your job won't stress you out, so you can focus on your well-being and you can focus on the things that you love. Okay, so email me, guys, if you want those sessions. Now, shout out to Miss Green Eyes, I love you. Shout out to Acid Face Melt, I love you. Shout out to Emeralds of Wisdom, I love you. That's another thing I want to say before I go. Don't be afraid to say I love you. Spread love. I love everybody that participated in the chat. Okay, Michael DeLine, I appreciate you for tuning in. Everybody, Emeralds of Wisdom and Miss Green Eyes, you guys were really participating. Acid Face Melt too. Y'all three was really going in. That's what's up. I appreciate your energy, and I hope you received good energy from me. I appreciate you tuning in, taking time out of your day, because time is very important. Truly, thank you for coming in too. I appreciate you. I love you guys. Because like I said, it's, you could have been doing anything right now, but you're tuned in right now, so I appreciate that. Again, but yeah, anybody wanted personal sessions with me, anybody want personal consultations with me, you know how to contact me. In the emails in the description. Okay, so I thank you. I will leave you in peace, love, unity, abundance, prosperity, health. I'll leave you in one love, because we're all connected. Leave you in one love. I'll leave you in namaste, ashe. I'll leave you in just not everything. Thank you, Miss Green Eyes. I'm glad that you learned. I'll leave you all in all, okay? Because we're all right. So I'm tuned out. I will see you on the next live stream and the next video. Thanks a lot. One love.